Hi everyone, Laura here. I'm going to take you through my presentation for class. There will be two parts to this presentation, hopefully in the same video. The first part will go over my proposed technology, and the second part will actually be a demonstration of that technology. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching. The technology I am proposing is a book quiz that will help students find books of their own choosing. My technology is focused around this need for children to find these resources for their own reading. In a study I read by Allred and Sina, they noted that when students chose their own books, they read more outside of class as well as enjoyed reading more. The act of students choosing their own books has been linked to a stronger interest in reading among children, but there is a lack of resources for children to help them find these books, as noted in a 2016 study by Kleeman. This need is what prompted me to propose my technology, an interactive book quiz. Ideally, my proposed technology would be a free interactive book quiz regularly updated by librarians. The idea of a website that recommends books is not new. There exist websites like What Should I Read Next and Which Book, which provide recommendations for adult readers on their next choice of book. There also are book quizzes that exist for adult readers. Any simple Google search with the terms book quiz usually will turn up results in this category. My technology would take the same ideas and provide it for children. One difference is that the book quiz I am proposing would be broken down by Lexile levels. Lexile levels, for those who don't know, is a reading scoring system that was developed by two education researchers to better gauge a student's reading ability. It has currently partnered with different state departments, publishers, and education companies to further the reading education of children. Essentially, a child takes an exam, kind of like the Regents exams they're already taking, to figure out what level, based on the Lexile levels, their reading ability is. This number is also assigned to books. So a child just has to match their Lexile number to a book's Lexile number to find a book that is at their level. Different parents have come to me asking about Lexile levels because some of the schools in my area use them to understand a student's reading level. This inspired me to use the Lexile levels as the framework for me to structure my quiz because it provided a convenient framework so that students are being suggested books at their level. Okay, so now that you have some background on my technology proposal, I will actually change my screen so that you can see my sample book quiz, and I will take you through one result that you can get on it and sort of talk to you and explain some of the choices I made in it. All right, here we go. All right, welcome to the book quiz. I made this quiz using Google Forms and creating separate sections that are then linked to each other. I had some trouble trying to create the quiz. I tried a bunch of different softwares to use, and this one ended up being the one that I was actually able to get a working quiz on, so that's why I went with it. Oh, I just noticed a spelling mistake. That should say 850. Sorry about that. I will change that as soon as I'm done with this presentation. So my quiz isn't for, it's not the full version. It only is for the Lexile level 700 to 850, which is the lower end of 5th grade students. That is to say, students reading at this level are reading appropriately at a 5th grade level, but it's at like the lower end of a 5th grade level. I didn't really have the time to create a quiz for every single Lexile grouping. it just got too much branching paths and just too much for me to handle in a reasonable amount of time. But were this proposal to be approved, I think that I could definitely have the time to sort of make a different quiz for each level. But again, this is just the sample one. So without further ado, I will take you through the quiz. All right. First question is, what genre do you want to read? I only included 5 genres. These were the ones that I thought were sort of the biggest or could encompass the most. I actually thought about turning this mystery one into horror, but then I sort of realized there's not a ton of horror books for 5th graders, but were I given the time, I would like to expand this out to include more genres. So for our first question, you can also, for students who don't understand, I don't understand what this means, which would take you to an explanation of what a genre is. Or you could also go back and click, can you explain the genres to me? Which explains sort of my breakdown of how I'm describing these genres so that students know what I mean when I'm saying, oh, would you like to read science fiction? And that will take you back to the home page. And then from here, let's choose fantasy just for this example. And I did ask, do you want your book to be part of a series? Let's say yes. And then what kind of tone do you want your story to have? Let's do fast-paced and exciting. Okay, so the result we got is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. And I provide the title, the author, a synopsis, and the sequels in order. Were I given more time, there would be more questions for students to answer just so I could really get a good choice for them, as well as I would like to offer more than one result so that they could read and decide, oh, you know what, like, I'm going to read this one first because maybe they really find The Lightning Thief interesting, but another book like Arusha and the End of Time, which was in the last presentation, that one wouldn't be as interesting to them because they don't want a book with a female protagonist or something like that. So ideally, I would provide more than one result, but for this sample, I was not able to do that. And then students can also say, are you happy with the result? Yes or no. Let's say yes. And then they can type back feedback to me so I can understand how they're feeling about their result that they have, or even just the quiz in general. That way I can get feedback and can edit and alter the quiz as students use it more and more. Ideally, I would also have a section after this where they could submit sort of what they got and what they thought about the quiz to each other. So there is a social aspect to this as well. I don't have that set up right now. I was struggling to figure out a way to set that up. So it's just the sample quiz at this point, but it is something that you can take if you are interested, just to see. There are 30 different results you can get based on the different branching paths that the quiz has based on your answers to the questions. If you're interested, please go ahead and submit it. And thank you very much for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.